All right, the first part of this quiz is also from last week, and all I want you to do is put these in standard form. So if there is a number over here, which there usually is in this part, get rid of it, make it negative. If it's positive, make it negative. If it's negative, make it positive. And then put it in order. The squared term comes first. The regular letter comes next. And then minus 3. Okay, most of you on the last quiz, you put them in the right order, but sometimes you forgot to change the sign of this number over here. So be sure that you remember to change that sign. Okay, so 29e becomes negative 29e. So 5e squared minus 29e plus 20 equals 0. And let's do another one here. 15 here becomes negative 15. I realize I made all this positive. I'm going to make some negative tomorrow, just as a heads up. So start with the 20c squared. This one's really messed up. 20c squared, put the squared term first. And then 37c. And then minus 15. Okay, it's just a matter of putting it in that right form. These should be easy money for you. That's why I'm putting it on there. These are some easy points that you can get. Okay, let's go ahead and finish that off. All right, this next part here, using the zero product property, well, it's just the opposites. Remember, we had j minus 3 equals 0, and then you added 3 to get rid of it. So your answers are 3, and the opposite of plus 9 is minus 9. So your answers are 3 and negative 9, negative 5 and negative 10, and so on and so forth. You should be able to finish off this section in 25 seconds. Go ahead and do that. All right. This next part here, let's see, it says factor these. So this is where you can use your brain or use your chart, but numbers that multiply to 10 and add to 7. Well, numbers that multiply to 10, you have 2 and 5, and they also add the 7. So c plus 2, c plus 5, 2 and 5. Multiply to 10, add to 7. And again, you can use your chart as well for that. And with the negatives, I'd probably advise that. It's a little harder with the negatives. So start at negative 3, look for negative 28. You get sorry, I lost my train there. So it's going to be negative 7 and positive 4, minus 7 and plus 4. And just write it out like that. We're just factoring here. We're not actually solving anything, because it's not equal 0. Okay, looking at the other side. This says to solve using factoring. So let me see here. I'm going to factor this first. It'll be g plus 2, g minus 1. Then you get your answers. Flip the sign. So that just combines a couple things we did on the other side. And we've done that for a little while, so go ahead and finish off that top section. Okay, this next part says solve using the quadratic formula. I'm instructing you to use the formula, so go ahead and do that. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times the value of a. Okay, if you can get just this far, I'll give you partial credit there. So make sure you can at least do that. Follow the formula, plug things in. Negative 5 plus or minus, that's going to be 25 inside. 4 times 1 times 2 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. And then these quadratic ones will not look nice when you're done. 25 minus 8 is 17, so negative 5 plus or minus root 17 over 2. And that's going to be your final answer. Okay? Because these don't factor, they're not going to look nice. Go ahead and try those next couple there, just using the quadratic formula. Okay, finally down here at the bottom. Let's see. First, try to factor. So start at the negative 8 and look for 5. Do you see it? Or are there numbers that multiply to 5 and add the negative 8? Well, the only numbers that multiply to 5 are 1 and 5. And there's no way you can add them up to 8. So here's where we got to use the formula. So negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times the value of a. Over here, look at, now this is a 1, right? So look at the 1 and see if you can find a negative 6 from there, and you can. So that's kind of cool. You get positive 3 and negative 2. So m plus 3 and minus 2. So it's going to be negative 3 and 2. Okay? So you have to determine whichever is most appropriate. If you use the quadratic formula here, you'll still get the answers negative 3 and 2 if you work it out. But if you can do it with factoring, it's so much quicker to do it just by factoring. I want you to do that. So I'm going to give you credit for there. Okay, you have to use the right method. All right, that's it for that. I'll leave this up here. I'll probably finish that quadratic one off here in a minute, try to finish it. And good luck.